Back talking volleyball with head coach Melinda Roy Washington, Columbia College. Columbia Cougars up to number 5 now, creeping back up the final poll of the season. Congratulations in that top 5 spot. The regular season is over. The AMC Conference Tournament, as we said, is over. You win, you get the automatic bid, which awards you the opportunity to have basically a bye in the first round of the national tournament. And there's several play-in rounds that are regional around the country. That'll whittle it down to, 24 teams?
Yes.
That will make the trek to Sioux City, Iowa for the national tournament, which is, how many matches do you cram in 4 days or 5 days? It's just insane how that works as far as that tournament is concerned.
Quite a few. You'll have 3 pool play games guaranteed, and then you'll go out into a single elimination bracket after that. And however far you can go after that, up to 6 matches for championship run.
Yeah, whereas we had finals on December the 4th, so you could play a semifinal in the morning and then the championship game 7 or 8 o'clock, I believe, that night. And all the scheduling and everything on the tournament is online at ColumbiaCougars.com. Now you still have to wait till the 21st to see where how the pools are organized. What goes through your mind at this point? Obviously, you've pretty much hit all the goals that you've set out for the team for the most part as far as on the court is concerned to this point. Now you just kind of hurry up and wait? I mean, other than practice?
Yeah, coaching staff's busy. We're getting scouting reports ready for everybody we might see, getting game films in, as many as we can on the teams that we know are already in and teams that are in the play-ins. We've played a lot of those teams. Teams that we have already played have played some of those teams, and we've gotten a lot of film so far. So we're just busy preparing and making sure that our girls are going to be mentally prepared. We'll have scouting reports in all the binders by the time we go, and just a lot of preparation on that end, hotels, meals, things like that for once we get out there. As far as practice prep, we've got a lot to do still. We're working on a lot of just minor details and making things better that, working on weaknesses still. And
right.
that's sometimes a long journey.
Now, into this preparation, talk about the different game film, and how does that work? A lot of networking, obviously, with other coaches, or are there restrictions by the NAIA on how you get your footage, or if you know several coaches more, and like you said that they play teams that or you could play, get some tape from those teams. How does that all work?
Yeah, a lot of phone calls, a lot of email. Email's great. A lot of emailing out to coaches and calling and just getting in contact with those coaches to get copies of film. There's a lot of schools that will archive and YouTube that sometimes they broadcast live and they leave their video up. So. DVD burning in that case, so that we can have that film. But there's multiple ways to get scouting reports. Also, just talking to coaches and getting it down on paper. But the film is really nice to have, so the girls can kind of see the other team on film, and we can pick out numbers and body types so that we know who we're blocking and who our matchups are going to be.
Yeah, it's one thing to see stats on paper, X number of kills, X number of defensive plays, but to actually see it in motion, to see how it works to the average eye watching a volleyball match, you're just thinking, okay, get it over before you touch it 4 times.
Yeah.
Where there's obviously a lot more strategy, and especially when you get into the scouting.
Yeah, definitely. And watching a student athlete, say I'm a right side blocker matched up on an outside hitter, you can learn a lot on film with block timing, on watching how that athlete gets off the ground, how quick they get off the ground, how high they're jumping. You can estimate a lot from seeing a film, whereas on paper you see they've got 4 kills or 10 kills. And for blocking and defenders, it's really important that they see the angle of approach of the hitters they're going to be facing and how quick they get off their feet, what their touch is, things like that.
What did the team that you had last year, obviously we kind of go back to it again, but a very successful regular season, then the unfortunate injuries towards the end. If we take out the injury, I know every time I say it, I'm like, okay, but if you, what did you learn by going through that last year that's helped you as a head coach to help this team this year?
Patience, I think. There wasn't much we could do once those injuries happened, and unfortunately, one of the injuries happened the Monday after our conference championship, which was about a week and a half before we got on the bus. And the injury to Kate Eckhart, our number 1 hitter last year, happened the day before we got on the bus. So there wasn't much we could do. If it had happened a week earlier, we might have been able to change the lineups and change things around and given her a couple more days to recover, before we had to play. But I think patience, because there's some things that you can't control. Right. And I've learned that in previous years. We had a girl, it was my first year at Columbia in 2000. I came in, we were ranked number 1 all year, went in, won all the way through, got to the semis, and my best hitter who was averaging 4 to 5 kills a game tore an ACL in the semifinal, and we ended up losing the championship game. That was a hard lesson as well. But last year, you know, it also showed how much character my team had. It proved to me that, you know, you can't rely on one person. You need to be well balanced. Even if there is a person that's carrying your team, the other girls need to have the ability to step up. And I think that we've put the team in positions this year to where the other teammates have had to step up. You know, we have certain practices where we'll tell our number one hitter, just let's be quiet today and see who steps up. That type of practice. And I think we have a well-rounded team this year. And I think that once they learn to play as a team and not as individuals, which they've done a great job this year of learning to do that, I think that we might find some success.
And the communication, that's a theme that we've had with yourself and also with Coach John Klein. Both of those teams have really shown in the communication that you hear on the soccer field, you see it on the volleyball court and hear it as well. And also to have Kate, as you mentioned, with you helping out on the bench, and Maria as well as former players, more so recently, and as well as Juliana to be there as well to help you prepare and get ready. And those binders must quadruple in size if you get set for the national tournament. Again, on the Cougar website, if you go to ColumbiaCougars.com, there's link information on all the pool play as soon as those are officially announced, the brackets and everything, and a map quest to tell you exactly how to get to Sioux City, Iowa, if you want to head up and cheer on the Cougars as they look to add to that national championship banner that hangs in the Southwell complex. If they make it to the championship games, that would be on the 4th of December, which would be a Saturday. But more on that, our player interview. We'll have a special guest coming up for you, and then more with the head coach coming up next. It's the Coaches Show, Mediacom Channel 22.